Okay, there we go. We just hit live on YouTube, and now we are hitting live on Facebook. There we go. Okay, I think we're up and running. There we go. We are up and running. Excellent, excellent. Oh, greetings, everybody. Oh, the message just went out. There you go, to let people know we're doing another update for the museum. And always fun to do these live updates. I have a great time at it. So, greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Martial Arts History Museum. My name is Michael Matsuda. I'm president and founder of the museum. Thank you all for tuning in. It's always very cool to have these fun little conversations to let you know what's going on. As you know, COVID has everybody closed everywhere, and we can't have any events here at the museum. So reaching out this way is a good way to say hello to everybody and kind of keep in touch and let you know what's out there, that we're out there. Lexi, thank you for watching. How are you doing, Lexi? John Lupo is watching. Thank you, John. Thank you for watching. I'll do my best to shout out hello to everybody who posts something nice on there, or hello or something like that. It's always cool to get people from all over the place. I do these probably about every other day or something. It's getting a little more frequent. I used to do once or twice a week, but I try to do like every other day or something like that. I know we're just bombarding with videos out here, so I'll try not to make it too long. I try to make it as interesting as I can. So we'll go. Glenn says, "Hi, Michael. Nice to see you again. You too, as well, guys. I wish I can't see anybody, but just want to say many, many hellos out there." Everybody, again, thank you for tuning in. It's always very nice of you. So just giving you what's going on at the museum, what's new, what's happening, and if anything's changed since the other day. So if you tuned in yesterday, we did a broadcast with Leo Fong. As you know, Leo Fong is one of Bruce Lee's closest friends back in the early 60s, around 1962. For many, many years. So Bruce and Leo used to hang out together all the time. And Linda knows Leo very well. So he's a close friend to the family. And a lot of great stories that Leo has. Leo's about 93 years old. So he goes way back. So if you watch a video, there are actually some pretty good stories in there, things you may never heard. It's on there. So anyway, Sean Boone says hello, and he says the Leo Fong segment is very interesting. Yes, it is. It gives you more insight, a little bit. It's always helpful to interview people who actually know the people and hang out with people. I'm not a big fan of people talking stories about other people. When they're gone, yeah, I understand. I understand. But if they didn't know them personally, you know what I mean, or even connect with them, they're just on hearsay. That's all it is. And we do our best. Again, we do our best. But it's always nice when someone actually knew the person to talk about them. So anyway, it was good to see Leo Fong talk about Bruce Lee in that way. Bruce Lee, just made a big impact, and it's good to know about their personal lives, and that's kind of cool. Leo Fong mentioned the. Oh, hi, Troy Ransom is watching. Thank you, Troy. Mentioned the Wally J picnics. Yeah, Wally J used to have these events. I think it was in his backyard. I'm not sure. I was a little too young to go to them. I remember when they were happening. I was too young back then. But they have this Hawaiian luau kind of thing, and they have everybody would come. It's a big thing, and all the big martial artists and everybody would be there, and they'd have a great time. And that was many, many years ago, and that's where Leo Fong met Bruce Lee. So it's kind of unique to talk about that old stuff that they used to do. All these guys used to hang out together. They really did. Martial arts is a huge world, but not really. It's also a small world. We all kind of know each other, especially during the early days of the martial arts. So anyway, it was very cool to do that. Talk with Leo Fong about that. If you're really into Bruce Lee a lot, want to learn a little bit more about him, watch the video that we just did yesterday as a candid conversation, I call it. And that way you'll learn a little bit more about Bruce Lee. It's kind of fun to learn different things about people. Okay, so what else is up at the museum? I am getting ready to release my biography. I know I try not to do stuff on me too much, and but it's good to let you guys know about me. A little bit about my past, about my history, and then why I started the museum, that kind of stuff. And so I'm putting the finishing touches on it right now, and it should be released. Let's see, today is Thursday. Thursday. So probably this weekend, maybe Sunday, I'll have it released for everybody to enjoy. So yeah, it'd be pretty fun. You guys, I hope you enjoy it. It's a blast to look at and to see a little bit of where I came from, and that way you guys know a little bit more about the museum. Robert's watching. Robert McCullough. Thank you, Robert, for all the way from UK. Very good. Everybody's talking to each other on here, which is kind of cool. So anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Sean Foon, for tuning in. Thank you very much. John Lupo says, I needed a nice hello. Hello there, John Lupo. So, guys, anytime you want me to shout out hello to you, I'm happy to do that. So, no problem at all. Uh, for all of you who are on Facebook, thank you for watching. If you don't mind, if you can go over and sign up right now to YouTube, to the Martial Arts History Museum's YouTube channel, and watch us from there, we get the little credits. So for YouTube, if you watch it on Facebook, that's okay. You can keep watching on Facebook. But if you sign up on YouTube, we get the credits for that. So let's talk about the credits and see where we're at, what I'm talking about. You know, as on YouTube, you can get monetized if you get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours. Well, give you the quick status of where we're at. We are almost at 1,200 subscribers, which is fantastic. And we are only about 400 viewing hours away. So that's pretty good. In 3 months, we picked up almost 3,000 viewing hours. So we are just 400 away around there. And I know we can get it. I know we can get it. We picked up like maybe 40 to 50 viewing hours last night. We picked up 60 viewing hours the night before and 40 viewing hours the night before. So we are almost there. We are this close. So we're talking days away from getting monetized. So thank you everybody for watching all the videos on YouTube. It is making a big difference. So thank you everybody for doing that. So it's going to be pretty exciting once we hit 4,000 viewing hours, and then they will start review it. And then after that, in about a month, they'll start putting, hopefully they'll put commercials on there and we can get a little funding. So that'll be fantastic. Thank you guys, everybody, for getting us there. So that was a great effort. It's a lot of fun doing this, reaching those goals. And we're this close to reaching that goal. So we're going to get it. We're going to get it. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of that. It's very nice of you. So Robert said he'll watch some later. There you go. There you go. So again, hopefully you guys will share my biography. It's about 40 minutes or so, and hopefully we'll get a few more hits that way. I hope you guys don't mind it too much. I'm a pretty boring guy. Nothing too exciting about me. Anyway, so that was a lot. It was a lot of fun to do. We are coming up. We are scheduled a road trip. Yes, we're scheduled a big road trip coming up. And what I mean is myself and Mario Prado, former cover photographer for Black Belt magazine. We've been good friends since the 80s. We went to university together. And Firebor's Jacques. Three of us will be taking a road trip coming up. And we're going to do a couple biographies. We're going to go see Ernie Reyes Sr. We're going to see Dave Kovar. We're going to see Tom Kellis. And we're going to see Mike Swain. And that's up north. So we're going to take literally a road trip up there, drive our way up because we have a lot of equipment. And we're going to do biographies of all those guys while they're there. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So we're really looking forward to that. Americas Abi Samas is watching. Thank you, my friend. It's good to see you on there. Americas Abi Samas, the star of iCarly. I just saw the episode last night, the episode of iCarly Goes to Japan. And there was my friend Americas Abi Samas starring. He's very cool. He's a great actor starring in that role. So that was pretty cool. Robert McCullough says, can't wait. You have had a fun-filled life. Thank you for all you do. Thank you very much. Thank you, Americas, for coming on to YouTube as well. Americas moved over from Facebook onto YouTube and watch us from YouTube. So we're getting all the points from YouTube. If everybody watches, that's fantastic. Thank you guys for doing that. So we're making that big road trip out there, and we're going to shoot 4 people, put them in the can, shall we say, and have that ready to edit later on. I'm working on Simon Ree's biography. We shot that a while back, and a couple more we're going to put in the can. It's best to get these out, in case, God forbid, anything should happen. But it's nice to get these things out and at least have the video ready to go for making our biographies. I just talked to Blinky Rodriguez just about maybe 20 minutes ago, and we are getting ready to do a biography on Lily Rodriguez, and that's going to be pretty exciting. Lily Rodriguez, probably I would say, is the mother of female kickboxing, and that's going to be pretty exciting biography we can put together. Hopefully we can get some good footage of some of her fights on there, and that'll be really exciting. So a lot of great stuff coming our way. As you may know, we did a series called the Camacho series, or the Camacho, what is it called? The Camacho Experiment, right? and it was done by El Rey, and they finished showing it on El Rey. So now we're marketing it to different places with our good friends who do the marketing, and hopefully we can get something exciting going so you guys can see those biographies. I know if you didn't have an El Rey network, you weren't able to see them, but we're going to make those available pretty soon. So you'll enjoy those. Those are pretty exciting interviews and techniques and stuff like that. So talking about techniques, Martial Shop, Martial, and then MARTIAL shop, SHOP.com is almost ready. We are almost ready. In Martial Shop, you will have the expert class, and then you also have the words of wisdom. I'm working on them now. Hopefully we'll get them next week. I'm trying very hard. It just takes a little while. I've got at least 6 people already done in the can, shall we say, for that. We have Stephen Hayes, we have Graciela Casillas, we have Fireboards de Jacques, and we have Benny the Jet Euclides, and we have Robert Redford so far. And we're getting ready to put those in there so you guys can see some techniques and then have some words of wisdom. And that's going to be available pretty soon, couple weeks, I would say. And that'll be free of charge for everybody to enjoy and have a lot of fun at. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I can't wait for that. So it is a new show, a new web page. It's going to be both on YouTube and also on MartialShop.com. So it'll all be connected to YouTube. So fear not, we'll get points for it. So that should be pretty good. Okay, let's see. John says, thanks. I just got home. My car stopped working in a grocery store parking lot at 4:30 p.m. here, and I finally got home. Wow. Don't you hate that when your car goes out? It's terrible. I know it. Let's see. John is at 7:02 p.m. Way over there. Very good. Very good. Joe Robelo. Thank you, Joe Robelo. One of our great historians. Just a beautiful man, Joe Robelo. Thank you, Joe, Kempo Joe, for signing on. I truly appreciate that. Joe says you mean Robert Redfeather, not Robert Redford. They look the same. They look the same. That's pretty funny, Joe. Robert Redfeather and Robert Redford. Sometimes my words blur in there, when I talk. So my apologies. The Redfeather sound like Redford. So, but he does. They look the same. Pretty similar. My apologies. The people, I mentioned this before. People always say, Mike, you talk so loud. And I said, I can't help it. My brother and my father were almost deaf. And because I didn't want to repeat myself so many times, which I did growing up, I had to talk really loud. And so that's why you hear me really loud all the time. And forgive me if some of my words clash together. I'm just trying to get all the words out, and it happens sometime. But you guys know what I mean anyway. But that's why I talk so loud. I don't need a microphone. It's just growing up with almost deaf relatives, family members. It becomes quite taxing after a while of repeating yourself. So you learn to almost yell your comments out or questions out all the time. Joe says, glad to see the Chuck Sullivan Biography. Thank you for watching that. You know, if you guys haven't watched it yet, Chuck Sullivan Biography is that we just did. And again, before I talk about that, all of you wonderful people on Facebook, if you don't mind coming over to YouTube and signing up on the Martial Arts History Museum channel and watching this same broadcast live from there, that'd be great, because we get the points over here on YouTube, and we don't get the points on Facebook. But remember, we're only 400 viewing hours to go to reach our goal. So thank you, everybody, for doing that. Oh, Robert has a question. Last time you were on, you lost connection. You were just about to comment on They Call Me Bruce and the great sequel title, They Will Still Call Me Bruce. Was it Bruce Lee that was in that? No, Joe, you're going to have to help me out on this one. Joe is a great resource, Joe Robelo. There was I think his name was Johnny Way, something like that. He was the star of They Call Me Bruce, Johnny something with a W. And if you guys can help me out, I appreciate that. He was a great actor. He wasn't Bruce Lee. He was a very comedic actor, Korean actor, and John something. So anyway, if you guys can look that up, that'd be fantastic. Joe says, I'd like you to do an excerpt segment on the monkey ring. You know, the monkey ring, you guys, you know I do a style called monkey kung fu. I'm one of the last monkey kung fu grandmasters of this art. I'm the 6th generation successor of the art. I learned the entire art form, everything. My good friend passed it on to me, and then I passed it on to my students, my 3 main students who completed the entire art. And so it's up to them to carry it on, but they're not really teaching, and I'm the only one still teaching. So anyway, monkey kung fu has one primary weapon, and it is the staff. That's really it in monkey kung fu. There are other weapons associated with it, like the monkey ring, but there is no monkey ring form. It is just the monkey carries the ring around with him, you know, but it's not part of any part of monkey kung fu, at least Tai Chi Pickwire that I do. So, you know, the monkey ring looks cool. We play with it, you know, but it's not part of the system, It's an interesting weapon, you know. I wouldn't choose it to fight with. Give me a nice baseball bat. I would rather choose the monkey ring. But it's a great weapon, you know. It's interesting. It's fun, but there's no real form to it. If anybody knows the real form, it's just kind of made up on their own. I've never seen anybody actually do a monkey ring form. They may make movements and all that, but it was never actually part of the monkey system. It's in movies and stuff like that. But the only weapon really in monkey kung fu is the staff. That's really the only weapon. The other ones, like the sword and the Tai Chi sword and all that, and that's another style. That's part of Pecquar, and that we use it when teaching monkey, but it's actually not part of the monkey art. Same thing as the monkey rope. You know, it's like the monkey ring. It's out there. If you know how to use it, fine, but there are no real forms of it because it's not really part of the monkey art. This is for TV and show and other stuff like that. But excellent question, sir. Yeah, there's no ring. I can tell you that doing monkey kung fu for over 40 years now, I can tell you there's no ring, but it looks cool. It looks cool out there, and we have a chrome ring. I got one of those chrome rings, and they're pretty neat. You can put it around you and do the form, pull it off, and hit this way and block this way, and we can do some movements from it, but it's not really part of the system. But it looks cool. I like it a lot. And let's see. Joe says, no, it was a Korean comedian. Right. It was a comedian, Johnny Yun. There you go. Y-U-N-E. Joe would have the answer. I know Joe would have the answer. Thank you, Joe. Johnny Yun. Okay, Y-U-N-E. I thought it was with a W, but I knew it was Johnny or something. Yeah, a great comedy actor. I have no idea. I think probably passed away by now, but he was a great comedic. I think he did pass away. He was a great comedy actor. He was really funny on They Still Call Me Bruce series. And it was a lot of fun to watch. If you haven't watched that movie, They Call Me Bruce, it's a lot of fun to watch. So it's a crack up. Anyway, let's see what else. Okay, more questions over here. Let's see. They call me Bruce. Yes. Robert says, "Oh yes, I went to the cinema to watch it. It was a funny movie." Daniel says, Peter says, Johnny Yoon was the star of They Call Me Bruce. Oh, thank you. So people are also telling me the name of the star. Thank you guys for looking it up. I appreciate it as well. Robert McCullough says, that's so cool. You do monkey kung fu, a dying art. Well, I don't know if it's a dying art. It's just people don't do it because it's very difficult to do. I have to say, oh, Thomas is signing on. Thomas Altum says, hi, guys. Your monkey kung fu is it is a difficult art because it's low to the ground. That's why it's so difficult. It's very low to the ground. It would be great for MMA fighters, especially those who go on the ground. But it's very low to the ground, and people just don't like being low to the ground. And after about a month, they quit. And that's how it's been. Nobody lasts long. We've had like one or two people last several years, but then they're gone. And kung fu, for those of who do kung fu, if you haven't done it if you've done it 20 or less years, you're still a kid. You're really still a kid in kung fu. Unless you've done it past 30 years, then they have a little more respect for you. You know what I mean? So there's not really a belt system in kung fu. Today they do that, but there's not really a belt. So if you want to really say a black belt in kung fu, you would have to say 25 years, really. You know what I mean? Because it's a very traditional art. And monkey kung fu is just very difficult, again, because it's low to the ground. People just don't like getting down that low, and they leave the art. It's not all that different than other arts. It's just mostly bringing people to the ground, a lot of grabbing and pulling and a lot of groundwork. But you're not always fighting low. You know what I mean? But you got to learn it low. You know what I mean? So they just don't like to do that. So monkey kicks doing low and all that. A lot of stuff in monkey is like Muay Thai, very similar in some ways with the elbow strikes and the knee strikes and all that. It's not an easy art, and I have been, my instructor before me was the only student under his instructor. So it's only been passed down to like one or two people, and that's it. And same thing, and now it's me, and I pass it on to my people, and I don't think they're interested in really teaching it, but they know it well, so it's up to me. So I put everything on DVD. So if you look for the DVDs out there on Amazon, you'll see the entire art. So when I'm gone, at least Monkey Kung Fu will still be there. I don't call it a dying art like Lua. It was a dying art till they opened the doors, but I guess it is. I guess it is a dying art. But now it's on DVD. I don't feel too bad about having it out there. I'm glad when I'm gone, I'm glad the DVDs will be there for people to enjoy it and learn from it, because I go in depth on it. So if you want to learn Monkey Kung Fu, there it is. It's right out there for everybody to learn from. And I put everything in the kitchen sink in there. So anyway, enough about Monkey Kung Fu. Oh, someone does act that says some more about drunken Monkey Kung Fu. Yeah, drunken. Just to throw, I don't want to talk about Monkey Kung Fu too much, because I talked your ear off already about it. But there are actually 5 different animals, shall we say, 5 different characteristics in Monkey Kung Fu: the drunken monkey, and the lost monkey, and stone monkey, and wood monkey, and all that. Those stone monkey and all that, different monkeys in there, and you find the best one that fits your personality. They're all different. Each one of them is different. Each one has different style of fighting, so you just can't say one style. And monkey is the same as the other. Drunken monkey fights one way, and stone monkey fights another way. So they're all kind of different. Me, I focus more on stone monkey because I'm a little more bigger, and I like to do elbows and knees, so I like that one. That was a lot more fiercer than the rest, so I enjoy that one. So anyway, let's see. Sean, what was it? Johnny Yoon or Barney Miller? Don't know what that means. Let's see. Thanks, Peter. May I watch that again? Not seen it since the 80s. Very good. They Call Me Bruce. Yeah, that's a pretty good movie. I really liked it. I love all these fun satire and movies about these guys, martial arts, and it's a lot of fun to watch. It really is a lot of fun to watch. So I like them. Oh, Joe Robelo says he died last March. Right. I think we did a little something about him. I can't remember, but I think we did. So many of our people are passing away. It's kind of sad. So that's why this museum is so important, to have an actual museum, an actual place that people can come in and learn about the history. I was talking with Benny the Jet Yukidis. We were at Firebor's Team Karate Centers in Woodland Hills. Let me see, it was on Monday. So I met Chuck Liddell, MMA, UFC guy, and Chuck Liddell was there, and then Benny the Jet Yukidis came over. So it was good to see those guys again. Benny was kind enough to do some video for us there. That was very nice of Benny, Sensei Benny, very kind to him. And it was good to talk with the Iceman himself. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun talking with the Chuck and those guys. And we had a great time together, spent about 4 or more hours together hanging out, eating and having a good time. And he's got a project coming up, so that's kind of cool that he would be involved there. So it was nice to see him at Teen Karate Centers. We always see these guys there, and so we just had a blast and getting to know everybody. And it's always nice to meet up. And that's why I think it's so important about the Martial Arts History Museum. This creates a nice place for everybody to hang out and see everybody. Americus comes by. It's good to see Americus. Robert Redfeather was just here. See, I see the feather a little more clearer that time. Robert Redfeather, though it looks like Robert Redford. He was here the other day, and everybody comes by. It's kind of cool to see everybody hanging out at the museum. And I'm waiting for the COVID to be done, and so we could all hang out like we used to hang out. And Don hasn't been here, Cynthia, and haven't been here in a while because of the COVID. But we'll get them all back. But in case you tuned in late, we are doing a road trip in a while, just in a few weeks, and we're going to stop by and hang out with Ernie Reyes Sr., Kovar, and Tom Callis, and Mike Swain coming up, and we'll do some biographies with them and hang out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to stay up there for a little bit, couple of days. So it should be a blast. Should be a great drive on the way up and the way back. So I take my Coke Zero with me. Let's see. Sean Funa's question. Are you related to William Ford or Jiro Okamura? Okay, William Ford is a young competitor I met when I used to own Martial Art magazine. And William Ford was a young guy back there in his teens, and he used to compete. And I knew William from back then, William Chris Ford. He went by the name of Chris Ford back then. And he was just a fantastic competitor, great guy. And I'm glad to have known him for all these years, a good supporter of the museum. And I always want to highlight that. I'm happy to say names of people who are good supporters of the museum. I don't mean people that just come to our events, but people who do a lot of stuff for us. That's why I really thank them for doing that, for doing seminars and workshops and stuff for us. That's very kind. So he mentioned Jiro Okamura. Gerald, great guy. I see Gerald every so often. He's not far from here. Thankfully, everybody's around here. I was just at Takaboto School just the other day. I was at Fumio's school a couple months ago. And Leo Fong yesterday to hang out. Hey, in the door. Look at this. Walks in Sifu Carl Totton. There he is in the door right now. Sir, if you want to come around here and say hello to the audience, I can't turn this around too much. But ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. One of the icons of the martial arts right here. Sorry for the mess here. Let me just get this. I got a little place back here. There we go. There he is, the man himself. See, Carl Totton, Hall of Famer. There's the man. His biography is out there for you guys to enjoy. But we hear live from people from England and all over the world. Everybody's saying hello. Sean Food says hello to you.
Wow.
And
world.
How cool is that? So we are just thrilled to get Death to have some great icons like Sifu Carl Totton to come in here. Dr. Totton, just an amazing man. And how cool is this? How cool is this?
I'm glad you're open.
I know.
It's been a long time.
It has. The museum store is open.
Yes.
The store.
Yes.
But it's nice to him. I was just at Leo Fong's house yesterday.
Oh.
And we just did a conversation interview like this, live with everybody. So that was
Great.
pretty nice. He's doing pretty good. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then we hung out Monday with Chuck Liddell and Benny Yukitas at Fireworks Studio.
I heard about
So that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. So very good. So did anybody have any questions for Dr. Carl Totton while we're right here? While we got the big icon of the martial arts. I'm always thrilled to get these guys here. That was so cool. We're like the Brown Derby, you know, where all the stars would come in. And here it is, the Brown Derby. So look at Robert says, oh, I missed that. So anyway, so any questions for Dr. Totton while we're here? So he's the man. He's got all the resources. Joe Robelo's on here. I don't know if you know Joe Robelo. Okay. Joe, Carl, Dr. Totton right here. So anyway,
Joe.
There you go. Kempo, he knows it. Kempo Joe. Joe's such a resource. That man knows everything. Here's our other resource right here. Here's the walking encyclopedia. This is the man. He knows where all the bodies are buried. All of them.
That's just because I'm old.
Joe says, Carl Totton, I'm so glad to see you and get to know you. Please talk about the core system. Tell people about the core system, what you have, sir.
You know, I've had almost 25 martial art teachers. And so what am I going to say I'm teaching? You know, I've been talking forever just getting out the names. And so what I eventually did was to take kind of the core essentials of all of them and combine them into my way of practicing and teaching. And so my name became the core system, just as a way to identify my unique way of combining all the things I learned from almost 25 teachers.
Nice. There's another question on here. It says from Robert from England. He said, who is your inspiration, sir?
I've had many of them. Probably my biggest inspirations were Grandmaster Arkwei Wong, absolute pioneer of Chinese martial arts. My Taoist master, Sher Lu,
right,
Ed Parker, and Kempo, and Tiny Lafiti. He was one of Ark Wong's students.
Who is not tiny.
No, he is a 300-pound Samoan. And today, by the way, is the anniversary of his death.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
He died on this day in 1973.
Wow.
And so I'm honoring him today. And his cousin, Tino Tulio Lasega, of course, was the founder of Lima Lama and another senior student of both Ark Wong and Ed Parker.
Right.
See, so it's kind of like a family here.
Right,
you know? All these people are connected to each other and influencing each other. And fortunately, I was around in the 60s and 70s to get to know all of them, to train with all of them. And for that, I am forever blessed.
Oh, yeah. He was so lucky to be able to do that. You know, what a great time period that was. I myself, was still a young kid, though, in the 60s, but I got to see Sher Lu and hang out at his studio and Arkwei Wong and see Mr. Parker was just a good guy to me. You guys know that I've talked about Mr. Parker. I developed a wonderful relationship with him when I had Martial Art Magazine, and he was so helpful to me. And I can't say enough about how great he was to me. Again, he didn't have to be nice to me. Who was I? And but he was just so gorgeous to me and always helped me out. And you know, this guy's history goes so far back, and he trained with them all. You know, I was lucky to meet them and talk with them or have dinner with them, especially when they had those great dinners back in the early days. You'd sit around a table in Chinatown. There was, you know, Buxton Kong, and there was Mr. Han from Enter the Dragon. There was Chen Sao Chang, and there was, you know, Raymond Wong and Wai Si Wong, and everybody, Sher Lu, everybody was there. You know, it was like the Hollywood, you know, with all the big stars sitting around the table back then.
Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. There they were, all there. So, you know, what a great time this was. But this guy trained with them. You know, he trained with them. So how great is that? Let's see. There's another question over here. Let's say, Oh, hello from Richard Bash. Says hello to you. Troy Ransom says hello to you. Robert McCullough says, yeah, 25 arts. Let's see. Amazing people. Thank you so much, sir. What a blessed life indeed. Joe Robelo says, please talk about those two arts. Oh, the Lima Lama. Joe wants you to talk about the splashing hands and the Lima Lama and Polynesian martial arts. So yes,
wow, that's a big topic.
Yeah.
Splashing hands is a name that some people have used to identify the style that Hamea Tainafiti practiced. When he was in Taiwan as a U.S. Marine, he was stationed there, and he studied a Kung Fu style called Mok Ga, which is one of the 5 families, by the way, that Ark Wong also taught. And so when he came to the United States, he had a letter of introduction from his Taiwan teacher to Ark Wong to be able to continue studying that art. And then Lima Lama, which was started by his cousin Tino, Tulio Lusega. Tino, like Tiny, was also a boxer. Tino had studied with Ed Parker, one of his original first-generation students, and many other things. You know, judo, jiu-jitsu, karate, on and on and on. And he combined all of that with what we call Samoan street fighting and knife fighting to create a new art called Lima Lama, which means the hand of wisdom. The hand of wisdom. And so again, and again, he of course he studied with Ark Wong. Again, the 5 animals and the 5 family system. And so you had all these people kind of hanging out here in Southern California. Ed Parker, Ark Wong, Tiny, Tino, and many others. Danny Inosanto, of course, studied with Ed Parker and Ark Wong. Mm-hmm. And so they were all kind of feeding off of each other's knowledge, you might say. And so Southern California became the hotbed of martial art development for many, many years.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a lot of fun because you could go down the street and see one famous person and then go across town and see another famous person, including some of the greats of karate, like Nishiyama and Oshima and Bang Soo Han. I mean, they were all right here. Yeah. Truly, like being in a candy store for any martial artist.
Oh yeah, Bang was Master Bang Soo Han was just wonderful man. His studio wasn't far from here, so Fireburst and I used to go there and visit him. And many times we talk about the movies he was in. So everybody was close by. Al Tracy used to have a studio over here, the Tracy brothers, not too far from here on Laurel Canyon, I think it was, or somewhere like that. And then Benny Ukita's studios here, Takamoto's over there. Everybody's here.
Amazing.
Oh yeah. And then to know these guys, back in the day when Sifu Carl Totton and Sifu Douglas Wong and James Liu and those guys were out terrorizing the tournament circuit. It was great to know these guys, hanging out and seeing them, which is pretty cool, to experience that and to be there in the whole era of the birth of martial arts, especially with Kung Fu.
It was the golden age.
The golden age,
and all of Bruce Lee's movies just coming out.
Right.
The Kung Fu television series. It was really incredible.
Right. The 60s to around late 60s were the karate golden age. But from then on, it was the Kung Fu golden age in the 70s, really, the 70s and 80s. The Bruce Lee movies came out and the schools, because, before Enter the Dragon and stuff, there were hardly any Kung Fu schools, as you know, hardly any of that. But after that, a lot of Kung Fu schools and a lot of stuff they were still coming here, Jerry Lem's father, Sifu Lem, and all those were slowly getting here. But it took a while. But to see it all back then in the heyday, that was kind of fun.
Also, Joe asked about splashing hands.
Yes.
So like I said, when Tiny was in Taiwan, he studied Mok Ga Kung Fu. When he came here, he studied more Mok Ga Kung Fu. But one of Tiny's students learned from him and went to Taiwan, and he was showing a teacher in Taiwan what he had learned from Tiny. And the teacher in Taiwan said, "Oh, that looks like a style that we used to see here on the island that a friend of mine used to teach, and that style was called splashing hands. And so
Okay.
this student of Tiny used that name when he started writing articles and doing books and DVDs. And so it wasn't a name really that Tiny used, but his student used that name because when he went to Taiwan, they said, "Oh, what you're doing looks like this style that my friend used to do, called splashing hands." And so that's the name that has been spread around. But I never once heard Tiny use that name.
Ah,
He called it Mocha.
ah, very cool. Very cool. Again, he is the resource. He is the resource, right? As the man. Let's see. Okay. Joe says McNeil. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, that's the one who used the name Splashing Hands.
Oh, okay.
He was
Okay.
one of Tiny's students.
Oh, one of Tiny's
At the
students.
Huntington Park School.
Nice, nice.
That was a school. It was actually a Walk-U studio originally. It was run
okay.
by Ralph Shun.
Oh, Ralph. Oh,
Art
yes,
Wong's
yes.
senior student.
I remember that.
And the other instructor there, besides Ralph Shun, was Tiny.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so that's where I started learning from the two of them. And eventually, Tiny took over that school. Ralph Shun moved to Eagle Rock and then to Pico Boulevard in that Los Angeles, and eventually out to Anaheim and Orange County, where he kept teaching Art Wong's 5 Family and 5 Animals Kung Fu.
Nice.
So I followed him around to his different studios. He's actually the man who gave me my first black belt, was Ralph Shun.
Oh,
in
nice.
1970.
Oh, nice, nice. Very cool, very cool. And he also trained with, as we mentioned, Cher Lu. What a great man Cher Lu was. His studio wasn't far from here, so we were able to visit him a little here and there.
Right in North Hollywood.
Right there, yeah, North Hollywood.
Next door to Burbank.
Right. So Cher Lu was a wonderful man. I really liked him a lot. I got to know a few of his students, which was pretty cool, and be there. Let's see. Daryl Vidal says to say hello to you.
Hello, Daryl.
So Daryl Vidal, as you know, from Karate Kid.
Yes.
So he, in the new Cobra Kai, they mentioned his name, Daryl Vidal, which is kind of cool. How cool is that? Shouting with joy, huh? Say, wait, that's me. So
Daryl's a great
that's
guy.
really good. Yeah, yeah. America says he drove by earlier, but he should have stopped by. You can still stop by, America. You can still stop by. Let's see. The man says, First Ambassador says hello. Joe, thank you, Joe. Thank you for watching. Let's see other questions. It was interesting to learn of David Chow, the coordinator of the Kung Fu series. Didn't study Kung Fu, right? He didn't study Kung Fu.
No,
he was a judo guy, right? Yeah,
person.
yeah.
I wasn't both his. No, I was going to say his parents were into judo. I don't know that, but he definitely was into judo.
Yeah, back then in the 60s, as if 50s for us. I'm not going to say our dates. I'm not going to say when we're born, but we're in the 50s era, But when you came, back then, judo was the only art. Really was the only art you could find.
And the guy who was writing all the books on judo and karate was Bruce Tegner.
Right.
And Bruce Tegner, he really knew judo.
Right.
Because his mother and father were both judo black belts.
Yep, that is correct.
But then he went to, and so he started writing books. He wrote over 50 books on martial arts.
Right. He didn't even know all the styles.
No.
But he knew a little bit, enough to write a book.
Enough to write a book.
Yeah, he was the guy, Joe Tegner. Bruce. I'm sorry, Bruce Tegner. I'm thinking of Joe when I'm looking at.
And he had a
Sorry
school
about that.
here
Bruce.
in Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah, I went to go visit him.
Yeah. Bruce. Yeah, he wrote everything on there. You name it. At least he didn't take out those ads like Count Dante and those guys. So that was pretty good. Let's see. When you flip through the book and you see all the moves in 10 seconds. I don't know what that is. Let's see. What else? And see any questions? Richard says, I feel like a kid in a candy store. So much learning about the martial arts history through your awesome museum. Thank you, Richard. That's very kind. We do our best. Dr. Totton's here helping us out. Seafood Doug Wong. Everybody, John Corcoran. These guys have been helping us out for years now, for over 2 decades. and they've been here as our historians, really helping us out. Those three guys, Jerry Lim was helping us out as well.
We miss
And
Jerry.
always here at the museum, giving advice, telling me information I didn't know, because I don't know everything, you know. I know certain areas, but other people know more areas, and other people know more areas, and they bring that all together, and we all learn from it.
Jerry Fisher.
Jerry Fisher. Oh, Jerry was here helping us out. So we had some marvelous resources. Those guys in particular that really helped us out.
Gene
LaBelle.
LaBelle.
Gene LaBelle has been here many times, and what a resource he has been for us as well. So I want just say many big thank yous to those guys who just keeping the museum alive. And we're trying to do. I was telling everybody we're taking a road trip going up to see Ernie Reyes Sr. and Mike Swain and Dave Kovar and Tom Callis. And we're doing a bunch of interviews, and then we're heading back, and we're set up an interview for Lily Rodriguez with Blinky and with Benny to talk about Lily and do a whole biography on her as well. And we're hitting a whole bunch of people right now, and get everything in the can, for sure. And then we can edit them, put it on here. By putting it on YouTube, we also have it on Amazon if you want to buy it, but we're now putting them all on YouTube. We're just going to do that, and because it's going to help out the museum channel, and that'll bring some funds to us. So it'll be nice for people to see all of these biographies, because even though it's out on Amazon or here at the museum, I want the world to know about them. Like Cecil Peoples' biography, he said that he got so many calls from people who never knew he was a kickboxer.
Wow.
Never knew he was a kickboxer. Always thought he was just a referee. And to be able to learn about everybody's history, like your rich history, that everybody, all of the stuff you learned and who you knew. And it's important to have that in these biography series, so everybody gets to share all that. So that's pretty good. Joe Robelo says Bruce Tigner's wife's father owned Thor Publications and asked him to write those books. I remember Thor Publications.
Yeah, that was all the books were published by Thor.
Nice. And that is Bruce Tigner's wife's father's father-in-law, who was the publisher. How cool is that?
I still have several of them at home.
Oh yeah, I got one over here. Literally, I got one over here somewhere in this stack of Bruce Tigner's books. I think I bought one back then on Kung Fu. I can't remember. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, in fact, one of his students studied with Ark Wong.
Oh,
and then he wrote a book on Kung Fu.
Right. Oh, did he? So.
And Tai Chi.
Right. So anyway, I think that's about it. Any more questions for Dr. Totton while he's right here? Let's see. Earlier we were discussing weapons. What are your favorite weapon sets? For me, the favorite is a staff and a Tai Chi sword, and then the curved sword, whatever they call it today. And those are my three weapons.
The darn dough.
Yeah, thank you. He is the man. See, the darn dough. I think the darn dough is my favorite. I have all the weapons. I do the staff. I do it well. I do the Tai Chi sword. I enjoy doing that, but the darn dough I have a lot more fun with.
Yeah.
And you, Sifu, what is your
pretty
favorite?
Much the same. The staff, I just like the wood,
Right.
And I love canes, walking canes, walking sticks.
Yeah.
Because that's very practical. You can carry that anywhere, Just try to carry that darn dough into a airport or onto a plane. See what happens to you. But a cane, you can walk into a courthouse, an airplane, anywhere, and just say, "Hey, I'm handicapped," and they can't say a word.
You can disguise the darn dough like you're walking with it. Yeah, I like the darn dough with the flags on the end, because in our style we throw them with the flags and stuff on there, so it's kind of cool. Have the little flags on there.
I also like pocket knives, but I can't carry those onto a plane.
Oh, that's true. I got mine here, right next to us.
See?
You guys hear it?
Right here.
Wait, here. Pocket knife, pull it out.
There it is.
Hey, here's what else I got. Look at this. Wait. I got to pull this up. I got to take my shoe off so you guys can see it. Look at this. Ooh, whoa. Look at that. These are my spiked shoes. Aren't they cool? So my shoes have spikes in them.
Amazing. Next, you're going to have one like in the James Bond movie, right? With the blade coming out of the toe.
There you go.
Never from Russia with love.
I'm always armed. That's like everybody. Gotta have something around.
Art
You never
Wong
know.
actually had one of those shoes.
Oh, did he
You know, when you
really?
stomped the heel
Oh,
and the blade would
nice.
come out of the toe.
Oh, how cool.
I don't know where he got that thing.
Let's see. Joe says Michael's friends have your monkey videos and said thank you. Oh, thank you to them. I just talked about that a moment ago. Just want to say, guys, Monkey Kung Fu is out on DVD. The entire system is on there. So in case I'm gone, that'll always be there. So hopefully you guys will learn it and pass that on to another generation. Let's see. Daryl Vidal says, I carry a fixed blade tactical. Very nice. Robert McCullough says, Spike shoes. There you go. In the next Bond movie. There you go. Yeah, I got my Spike shoes. So that's pretty cool.
Tiny Lafitte used to wear steel tip work boots.
Oh, there's the best. Forget the Spike shoes. Those are the best. So,
he drove a forklift.
Oh,
so he had to wear those steel tip shoes.
Right.
You wouldn't want a 6'5", 300-pound man to kick you with the work boots on with steel toes.
By the way, a 6 foot tall, 300-pound man, when you're ready to fight them in Monkey Kung Fu, we run fast. So you see that? Run. That's what we do in defense of Monkey Kung Fu.
That's called the smart monkey. You got the tall monkey, the wood monkey. That's the smart monkey.
There you go. Like Biryusaki. Remember what we used to say about the Samoan? Yeah, Biryusaki would, he did Hawaiian Kempo, and he had a fight with a Samoan guy. And his father, who had taught him Hawaiian Kempo, he says to his father that, hey, my techniques, it didn't work on this guy. And he says, who are you fighting? He says, a Samoan guy. Oh, our techniques don't work on Samoans. He was a big guy. So you probably heard that story. But
Cheryl Lou, same thing.
No, did he say
he had to fight a big Samoan guy in San Francisco. He says, I hit the guy a couple of times, nothing happened. So I jump up, grab his hair, pull him down to the curb, and bounce his head on the curb like a basketball. Knocked him out. That worked.
Very good. Anyway, let's see. Richard Bash is armed and ready. I carry a Leatherman. And Robert says, I got the steel toe cap work boots. There you go. Very cool. So anyway, I think that's all the news.
Very good.
I'm going to talk to Sifu and convince him to join our expert class. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. I'll talk to you about it. And I'm going to be introducing that in a few weeks to everybody to enjoy. And I think that's about it. All the news we have. We are working on our getting our caps out. Our new caps. We just got a whole new line in. We're going to put them on Etsy, ETSY.com. And that'll be a little while, guys. So I still got to photograph them and put them on there. So that's going to be a little while. So anyway, working on that. And that's about it for the time being. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, we only have 400 viewing hours to go to make our goal for 4,000 viewing hours and get monetized on YouTube. So thank you, everybody, for helping. Maybe we can do it in this next week, probably a week and a half, and we can get it done, and that'll be fantastic. So Robert McCullough says, thank you. What a fantastic show, and what a bonus. Again, thank you to the man who popped in, the doctor himself, Totton, to have here. How great is that? Again, we're like, if you're old enough to remember the Brown Derby, every star walked in there was. And if all things go forward, and we've heard some good movement, that for the new location, we've heard some good movement lately. So hopefully that all goes forward. We'll have a nice restaurant in there. And that way people can hang out and be like the Brown Derby once again, but with martial art greats in there. And that'll be pretty fun. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. You all take care. And again, thank you to Dr. Totton. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.
Oh, what a great time to come in.
Oh, yeah. Perfect timing, sir. Perfect timing.
I was just driving by. I was on my way to go get some food.
Ah,
I
okay.
haven't eaten today.
Ah,